Patterns are various fundamental movements, most of which represent either attack or defence techniques set to a fixed and logical sequence. The student systematically deals with several imaginary opponents under various assumptions, using every available attacking, blocking tool from different directions.
My name's Dave Oliver. This tape has been produced to help coloured belt students with the performance of their patterns. We feel that it should be used as a reference. It is not a substitute for training with a regular instructor in the dojang, but we do feel it will help you to go back and refer to this tape and find out what the applications of the movements are. You will see that the movements have been performed slow and fast, and all applications explained thoroughly. All the people that have been involved with the making of this tape have at some time or other been patterns champions. So we're going to start the tape with 4 directional punching, which isn't actually a pattern, it is an exercise, but is used in all Taekwondo schools.
The following points should be considered while performing patterns. 1. Patterns should begin and end at exactly the same spot. This will indicate the performer's accuracy. 2. Correct posture and facing must be maintained at all times. 3. Muscles of the body should be either tensed or relaxed at the proper critical moments in the exercise. 4. The exercise should be performed in a rhythmic movement with an absence of stiffness. 5. Each pattern should be perfected before moving to the next. 6. Students should know the purpose of each movement. 7. Students should perform each movement with realism. 8. Attack and defence techniques should be equally distributed among right and left hands and feet.
So this is 4 directional punching number 2, using middle inner forearm block. On the first one we used low outer forearm block. We're now going to do number 2 using the inner forearm block, but all stances and foot movements are the same. First slow. So we're moving on now to the first pattern in Taekwondo, which is Chun-Ji. The stances that will be used in this pattern are parallel ready stance, walking stance, and L stance. The blocks that will be applied in this pattern are low section outer forearm block in walking stance and middle inner forearm block in L stance. And all the punches will be middle section. So first I'll perform the pattern slow and then at normal speed. Chun-Ji, Kyung-nae, Chun-Ji.
The interpretation of the patterns. The name of the pattern, the number of movements, and the diagram symbol of each pattern symbolises either heroic figures in Korean history or instances relating to historical events. The first pattern and the meaning of it is Chun-Ji, which has 19 movements and means literally the heaven and the earth. It is in the Orient interpreted as the creation of the world or the beginning of human history. Therefore, it is the initial pattern played by the beginner. This pattern consists of two similar parts, one to represent the heaven and the other the earth.
Chun-Ji, Kyung-nae, Chun-Ji. We'd now like to show you the application of the blocking techniques in the first pattern, Chun-Ji. First, we're going to show the low section outer forearm block being used against a front kick. 1. Now the application of the second block in Chun-Ji, middle inner forearm block in L stance. Tisha. Kyung-nae. Chun-Ji. Chun-Ji, Kyung-nae, Chun-Ji.
The second pattern is pattern Dan Gun toe. There are 3 different types of stance in this pattern. They are parallel ready stance, walking stance, and L stance. There are 3 new blocks. The first one is knife hand guarding block, twin forearm block, and rising block. And the new attack in the pattern is a knife hand side strike. Pattern, slowly. Chun-Ji. Chun-Ji. Chun-Ji.
The second pattern in the series is Dan Gun, and this has 21 movements. And it is named after the Holy Dan Gun, the legendary founder of Korea, in the year of 2333 BC.
And now pattern Dan Gun at normal speed. Chun-Ji. Chun-Ji. Chun-Ji.
The application in Dan Gun now, first of all, the guarding block. This is a guarding block only position. Next, we move into a twin outer forearm block position, where the defender is blocking against a side attack with a high rising block and a middle block against a punch, both using the outer forearm. Thirdly, the last application is a rising block, with the fist being higher than the elbow for deflection purposes. Knife hand strike is another new movement in this pattern. This knife hand side strike.
Chun-Ji. 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 Chun-Ji.
This next pattern is pattern Do-san. It's a 24 movement pattern. The new stance that hasn't appeared before is sitting stance, sitting stance. The new hand techniques are high section, outer forearm block, followed by middle section, reverse punch. There is also straight fingertip thrust. This is followed by a release. This way. There is also a spin. The spin is turning 180 degrees. This way. There is also wedging block performed here this way with the purpose of wedging open an attack. There is side back fist performed in the same hand position as middle in a forearm block, finishing here this way. We also do front kick, which is using the ball of the foot, performed here this way. Hits. Yongye. Chun-Ji.
Third pattern in the series is Do-san. This pattern has 24 movements, and the meaning is the pseudonym of the patriot An Chang-ho, who lived from 1876 to 1938, who devoted his entire life to furthering the education of Korea and its independent movement.